Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam.
I'm Alma Garcia. I do marketing for Quill & Crow and am a poet and short fiction author. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy to have met Dre at an open mic here in Puerto Rico, and it's been really cool. So I'm really excited to hear your work. I will give a quick reminder of my own. At Quill & Crow, we have this collection of poems from poets all over the world. It's just basically a collection of poets. It's really Gothic poetry, so if you have any of that, go ahead and check us out because we are open to submissions right now until the end of May. All right, so I'll get on with it and I'll start reading one of mine. Hope you guys enjoy it. I don't like floors. I like windows. I like doors. I hate reasons for reason's sake, and I only like unreasonable reasons to roll back into routines. I like running because I feel like a cloud, all rain and thunder and lightning loud, and sweat drips down between my breasts from my forehead past my eyelids, and I taste the sea, and I'm free, libre, soy, seré, I am, and then I stop. And I'm not at all, not within reason. My carcass is full of seasons. It's seasoned salt and sea, and I'm not free at all, at all. I don't like walls. Ceilings are good, but also they drip and they let floods in. Ceilings are actually bus stop benches, the covered kind. They hold your spirit when it floats, your gaze when it's ripe with understanding. Ceilings are ropes, ropes are dope. I like halls. Halls are different from walls. Halls are Valhalla. I'm 5'2", that's short by reasonable standards, but I'm not small. I'm great, big and tall, so tall, big as a goddamned mountain. Chief in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1962, and damned, a damned mountain, a damned woman, malparida. Barney, do you like climbing? I prefer to saying good morning. Buenos dias, bon dia. I like riding. I like soil. I don't like floors. I like windows. I like doors. Title for this is Amber Alert. Oops, what's going on? Admit someone. Okay, there you go. Here goes. Amber, it's puta, just say it. George Lopez, circa 2015 to 2020. Just know I don't exactly know when he said it, but it lives rent-free in my head. I can be your whore. Maria Brink, 2012. She's a Sagittarius, you know, of course. Just fucking crucify me already. Oh, look. Mother's calling. Ring, ring, ring a roses. Abre los ojos. Abre los ojos. Penelope Cruz in Abre los ojos, 1997. Hi, mommy, what would you say if someone comes up to you and says, do you want to see my puppy? Yes. No. What about cats? All right, what do you say if someone says, do you want to see my cat? Is it a cat in a hat? And fucking meow. Mary, you're fucked. You know that, don't you? Sure, I do. I'm a poet. What pet should I get? Also, I'm a sucker for Susie and Spit. Right, rhyme, game. I lived in Springfield for a bit. He was a poet, you know, a master of anapestic tetrameter. I had free entry to the museum on account of residency there. Talk about unfair advantages. He was a frat boy too, wrote for this campus humor magazine, Jack-o'-lantern. Do you like pumpkins? Pumpkin? I like carving them, climbing mountains. I prefer it to saying good morning. Buenos dias, bon dia. Can you just answer the questions like a normal person? Normal is relative. At your service, sir. To what? Slut! You don't have my eyes. You don't see what I see. George Lopez, circa 2015 to 2020. Jesus Christ. I'm more partial to archangels, actually. Two fallen ones and Michelangelo, to be exact. I have his hands tattooed on my back. The ones from Creation of Adam, circa 1511. Do you watch porn, princess? I prefer to use my imagination. I told you I'm a poet. And that works for you? Well, it's certainly not hard to climax when you've got images of Christ as a frat boy poet exorcising demons out of Mary Magdalene, blessed whore, running through your skull. What more could you ask for? Jesus Christ. What? It's sweet. It's bread and wine, and crucifixion is a comfortable bed, a bed of roses. Isn't that what Jesus said? Cristo en la cruz. Oof, that's Boppy energy. I'd start a cult with him too. Oh my God. Isn't that what everyone says when they come? Is he coming? I would say you need Jesus, but you seem to have found him already. Was he missing? Well, we did start this poem quoting a joke about Amber Alerts. Amber! Es puta, just say it. George Lopez, circa 2015 to 2020. Fine. Jesus loves you. I know. I'm a poet. This one is titled Mariangula. There's a shallow grave behind a cornfield just over yonder, a hole dug in the soil by nimble claws ripe with wounds and hushed incantations. Mariangula, Mariangula. Vowed at the tender age of 20, there's a cadaver buried under a tombstone of wild flowers with daisies in its eye sockets, a knife in its hollowed out womb, and the nectar of peony buds where there used to be a tongue. Mi lengua. Just over yonder, there's a paranormal force, a ghost resurrected by its desecration. Mariangula, Mariangula. Devuélveme mi lengua, ni puta ni pura, pero mía, sí mía, toda mía todavía. There's a cemetery in my backyard beneath fruiting vines and yerbabuena, a crucifix composting in the garden with memories of Eden, of expulsion, carved into its pulpy, putrid, proud paper flesh, wood carcass of Pinocchian nature. Mala yerba no muere. I want to be a real boy, it says. There's a man inside a whale, a woman in a clamshell, just over yonder, Devuélveme mi lengua. Give me back my tongue. Mariangula, Mariangula. Ni puta ni pura, pero mía. Mía, mía todavía.
This is a new piece. I'm debuting it here. It is part of a collaboration I'm working on called Sex, Shame, and Other Drugs. I'm eager to hear what you guys think. On a weekend day, midsummer, I awoke with morning lumber. Bored of rendering static memories, I endeavored to download Bumble. Eager for a silk sheet tumble, I watched as my scruples crumbled, jettisoning my lofty standards for a game of hide the cucumber. I swipe right until I find a match. All right, come on now, what's the catch? I formulate a string of pickup lines, then pick and send a batch. We plan a date, till then we wait. The night arrives, the mood is great. The moonbeams illuminate her radiant, sun-dappled face. As liquor pours, the quick rapport soars. We skip the film and sail full bore to the gory details. I'm on retail. After all, that's what all this was for. The next morn, I awake, half dazed, in a foreign place. Where are my clothes? How many shots did I take? I can't feel my face. My head's a wreck. I smell like sex. I collect my things and make to jet, but before I can, I feel a pang of steel in the heel of my neck. Here comes the shame. Am I to blame for the guilt that racks my swollen brain? Surely not. I'm not even sure I ever learned their Christian name. What the hell's in a name anyway? when our bodies get the final say. We're all going to die, so c'est la vie and fuck it, seize the day. As soon as I leave, I'm right back in the red. So I curse and climb back in the bed. Maybe this time it'll ease the dread and leave something else in its stead. I fight my frown and lie face down. Life's a circus. I am a clown, an addict, a romantic, codependent. Heavy lies the crown.
I think I'm going to do this piece called Pining. Here goes. Thoughts intruding. I've been brooding. Lights, camera, action. Start the shooting. Mind is looting, stealing peace. Riots in my mental streets. Unruly crowd, my heart competes and tries to fight it back with beats. Not loud enough to drown them out. They only start to chant. In unison, begin to shout, riled up into a rant. Latching onto rhythm, they won't let go of my mind, and myself it starts to schism, multiplicity of kind. Lost in all directions, don't know what I'm gonna find, and I'm split up into sections and can't catch up from behind. They're carrying infections like the chills right down my spine. I can't seem to make corrections. There's no getting out of line. Stuck with stomping feet, getting caught in these stampede. I want to take my seat, but can't get away from need. It compels me all the pumping, beating beat of failing heart, and they tell me that they're lumping all my feats in barely art. You can't sell the trauma dumping, people picking it apart. What the hell, the bomb is trumping, blowing up my brand new start. Finished from beginning, couldn't get off of the line, and you'd think that I were kidding, but this isn't the first time that I've had to do the bidding of the things inside my mind, so I'll sit and go on spitting and waste away while here I pine.
My first poem is titled Reflections for this round. God, I pray because I love you. I pray because I know you care. I pray because you will make my dreams come true. God, one dream was a mistake. That one ugly, selfish child dream. I know I often wished he'd go to hell, but God, I didn't really want the devil to come and take him from me. Just childish retaliation, and I was asleep, you see. But in future, please grant all my wishes, as they be what you want for me. God, why was my father murdered? Why, God, why? God, father died that I might live. My God, why?
This is titled A Disastrous Masterpiece. My pain is a dramatically ekphrastic work of art. A panoramic portrait of 1,000 words written within a picturesque depiction of Joan of Arc and Napoleon Bonaparte floating around namelessly on Noah's Ark. Cunningly contrived by an eagerly evil easel which easily contains the indelibly ingrained ink that remains within the acrylically illustrated veins of my graphically broken heart, which have been creatively ripped to shreds and craftily torn apart by the same elaborately crafted strains which refuse to relinquish their abstractly reanimated reins from being so visually afraid of the dark. Like Leonardo da Vinci, Pablo's Picasso's, so that Michelangelo Claude's Monet's, to then frame my traumatically intimate dismay as a mosaically intricate display of my artistically illustrated expression on a decadently decorative canvas, exhibiting a pixelated array of my articulately antiquated agony, jubilantly dancing to the truantly romanticized rhapsody of my sanity's variably variegated tapestry with no indication of mercy or amnesty. Like a torridly written storybook tragedy of an insurmountably horrible travesty in which the magic keys are automatically handed to an arbitrarily tyrannical majesty, so he or she could live comfortably and lavishly while the rest of us are forced to live savagely in this tailor-made calamity. Apparently, humanity rarely has the actual capacity to naturally embrace the duality between fantasy and reality. The unfathomably laughable gravity of this unimaginably radical disparity is an abominably embarrassing and abhorrently sad abnormality which compromises the hues of my colorful personality. My overall strategy is the eloquently etched and aesthetically encrypted glitch of a prophetically imprinted sketch in which the unbearably horrific stench of this horrendously wretched piece of kitsch shall be indefinitely put to rest. Which could prove to be a bit of a hell of a stretch, though, especially if the forbidden echoes of my hidden manifestos are prematurely put to rest before making it to their next expo. Therefore, I'm putting my 10th toe in escrow in case the rest of them don't make it through the rest of this biographical concerto. If you pay attention to my soliloquy's grammatical tempo, you'll see this as but a mere trinket of a fashionable memento, like a danceable flamenco rising up to a spectacularly unimaginable crescendo with absolutely no innuendo until it dwindles and diminishes into the swilled spindles of my unintended blemishes, which were swindled into my rekindled presages, which I can't say anybody really cherishes. Perhaps it's the excessively embellished emphasis on the extensively hellacious ekphrasis of this tremendously trepidatious exodus.
This one's called Words. Hit a stopwatch. Sometimes certain characters, when aligned, ring chimes worse than transistors in your mind. Sing lines of a version of transmitters they designed, with rhymes and time within my mind to find treasons of all kinds, intertwined in fine lines, compromised. Bring drifters to paint pictures of scriptures, a fit saint fossilized. Reason eludes small minds. I trained whispers to bend time. In the void of space-time, I combine the facts of time. A secretion from the abyss, a burning surge of glyphs, vowel combinations that never miss, leaking through layers of sieves, seeking a player to layer this pissed off set of alphanumerics to get off this astral projection we call inheritance. Lyricists adhere to this. Candle jumping. We move as spiritual myths. We twist the alphabet to get what we wish. Mindset hell bent on not getting squished, speaking with true eternal clarity and bliss. Oh no. How dare I say to thee words that scramble your frequency? I turn verbiage into rambling obscenities. My propensity to overachieve undermines my God-given authority to just be trusting, kind, loyal, and mindful. Look up to see some letters, I'll give you a rhyme full. Took down the sea of haters, they all live in a time loop. I find fruit from forbidden trees, pick up the fallen leaves, I'm all in crawling with bad knees to plead a new rhyme scheme. For the diseased, I'm displeased by this scene that I seem to be writing words in this uncertain curtain of being. That's all I got to bring. Love y'all.
So I have a couple little pieces to read. Neither one of them are really finished because I have like 5 minutes in life to write. So here we go. I don't title them either for the same reason. Thank you all for being here. I stuttered and steered through years, tears, and gears to get to this moment. So that's why I own it. By sowing your own moments of mind matter, you're brought into this Mad Hatter's platter, choosing love over hate, filling your plates full of words and absurdly conjured spells from within the depths of your own hells, swelling hearts and broken parts into being free and seen. That's what it means to be an artist, I think. Sinking your teeth into the sweet insanity of being and biting off your piece to play with, while staying grounded, down enough at least to keep the pain up while painting by numbers marked on flaming cakes. But my mind is always at stake. One simple quake, one simple mistake, and it's all gone. I'm back to the drawing board, facing hordes of horned ones, completely undone, wondering who turned out the sun. So I remake one from soul memory, pulling together any shreds of feathered bedding to cast my entity into again. I step lightly, gently slight myself into patterns carved during elvish revelry. So whatever you can see is more about you than me. Respecting each other's madness is how it's got to be. So that one's not done yet, but it's going some good places, I think.
Mm-hmm. Like I want to hear that. I can't wait to hear the finished product. Oh my God.
Right? I have
love
so
your
many poems that I'm just like, I can't wait to see how this ends.
You need to put them
I
out there. You need
enjoyed the women's empowerment in the statements there. The Ars Poetica and those types of statements were very, very powerful.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my other one's also really short and not finished, so it's like a kid, I guess. I don't know. All right. This substance got me in a super stance, dancing for emancipation of the nation of man, hues of all shades, exercising shoulder blades that cut blindfolds and guide home those who want to know. So it goes. I open this mind to see what is inside, not holding expectation despite overloading excitation, this flight of stillness between breaths, when the depths of perception subject your personal vessel into light projected. Overjoyed at the jovial conclusion, I'm just a project, a product of consciousness. One of many, in fact. Plenty of us have awoken in skin to find sin slithering within every crevice of our everything, with a voice screaming, "You deal with it!" I'm just being real, 'cause it fits.
Yo soy, I am, ni puta ni pura. Yo soy, I am, del sol, la luna, del mar, of the sun, the sky, the moon, the tide, I be, libre, free, in sand, in sea, the morning star tans my hide, Neptune whips my thighs with freedom, libre, soy yo soy, I am. Ni puta ni pura, ni puta, ni pura, ni puta, ni pura, not half, nor whore, nor whole, nor pure, suya, tuya, yo soy, I am, pétalo de rosa, rose petals in his hands bloomed of his rays del sol, his flame, his rain in her arms wild, bent to her will de la luna, depth sanctified in she, in sea I be, libre, free. Yo soy yo, I am. Caballera, jinete, potra, yegua, soy. Your nightmare horse rider, unholy, holy ghost, a little heaven, a little hell, a lot of heathen Eden, Godiva, lightning veined, moon child, hija de la luna, del sol, del mar, soy yo soy, ni puta ni pura, ni puta, ni pura, ni puta, ni pura, poeta, poetisa, poesía, suya, tuya.
This is To Mars with Love. It's me again. Hey, I'm just calling to say I'm terribly sorry that I pushed you away. I get it if by now it's too little too late, but I didn't think I could stave any longer. I swear I'd be a goner if I even tried to ponder on and on this another day. Wait. I know that you have so much weight on your plate, but there's simply no one else I'd rather date. I totally get it if your mind is made, but all of my chips are on the table now laid. No, trust me, babe, I'm well and gay. Don't call you that? Well, that's okay. Where am I doing time for my crimes? I'm afraid. I'm just kidding. Well, kind of. Well, only halfway. Don't be mad, but would you hate me if I told you I self-flayed with a blade and poured a gallon of my own blood down the drain? No, it wasn't you. Not quite, per se. It was me, Avast. I'm the source of my pain. My brain is my bane, and it's clinically insane. It lays into me whenever I pray, which admittedly isn't really even every other day. But Jesus, even today, I cannot reign in and tame the claim that we are together, meant to reign supreme forever over whatever remains of what should be our domain. You could be my queen, I'd be your thane. Yes, Queen Slade. Did you find that funny, babe? Oh, fuck, I'm sorry. You said not to say babe, but April is over and the flowers of May blossom as they gaze at Basque Bake and bathe in the wondrously radiant, beautiful gaze of your absolutely breathtakingly beautiful face. I'm so awfully sorry for straining things, babe. I'm aware so acutely that when my thoughts race, it's enormously difficult to keep with my pace. With shame, I'll admit that I am alone to blame. I swear I've paid not a grain to any role you may have played in my grave trip along and down the steep gravel grade. Oh, if I could grate a pound of my flesh and trade it for a chance to escape and erase my mistakes, I would. And wouldn't that be great? But I cannot clean the slate, so here I stay, craving your mane, deigning to bay at your gates, proudly praising your name and pleading my case for turning a new page. Yours truly downstage. Today, I put on In Rainbows by Radiohead, and it sparked my thinking about you, and I wished I was dead. I just thought I'd say hey, and how I feel really sorry for raining on what we had before it really even started. We had something good happening, riffing and rapping, but I had deluded myself on how my health I was sapping. We had stayed up all night talking about forget-me-nots and daisies, and I believed in my days that you might be the one who saves me, or at least preserves the vision of myself that I'd been chasing. Now that dream is all but gone, up in smoke, evaporating. I chase highs, but whenever this fiend becomes manic, he provides those around him with due cause for panic. I suppose, then, I've developed a perennial habit for taking good shows and turning them static. Unfortunate, then, that so terribly early on my condition had on it such a bright spotlight shone. Tough talk should be for dusk. I showed my bad side at dawn. It gave you pause enough to withdraw, pack your things, and move along. I prattled on in patterns, pedantic, frantic, and scattered. I bent our budding bond too far, and it snapped and shattered. Now this tortured, starving artist has hardly left his apartment after taking it really hard upon realizing that you darted. I thought if not my heart, you'd be my spar, not my departed. But alas, what's the expression about beating the dead horse before off it's carted? In my mind, time seldom progresses linearly, so I've been stuck in limbo, rewatching the play-by-play of you and me, hoping to manifest a different outcome, one I'd rather see, where I didn't lose my mind, and I allowed a good thing just to be. I finally caved, followed your lead, and made an Insta page. I use it to display the beautiful brain behind this artist's pain. I've also eliminated residual shame around my being gay. Since you as well like guys and girls the same, I figured you could relate, or at least be happy to hear a fellow queer overcame so much self-hate. Or maybe you wouldn't be happy at all. My reaching out would only occasion pain. Maybe while I've been mourning you, you've entirely forgotten my name. Maybe you found favor in another gallant knight or dashing dame. Maybe a list of maybes a mile long put me here in the first place. Maybe I should find solace in how you ended things in a callous way despite my mental state, and thus do not deserve my time of day. Or maybe there's no point in reaching out, because there's nothing to say, and hoping for change is futile after such interminable delay. Thank you.
Life without fusion. You know I wouldn't choose this if I had more choices. If I had a way to live without all the voices. If I didn't have to write, filling up the pages with everything that bubbles up, the sorrows and the rages. A foreign world. Who gets to live without the need to shout or conversate with themselves to try to figure it all out? To not bleed black ink or graphite gray, to not need the brink or have to say every goddamn think that floats your way, any flawed spam stink any time of day. No need for a notebook to be close at hand, no compulsion that ignores anything that you planned, to move on from a thought and not get stuck in it, like, I'll leave this here, put it up and just pin it. To enter a game and really believe you can win it. Because focus will keep your eye on the prize. You play by the rules, you stay the right size, not too big or too small, too much of it all, too many a fall and a fail. To fly then to stall, denied your one call, curled up in a ball, time to bail. No follow through, can't finish to do or see past the blue of the world. Over the nest flew, walk in a tight shoe while wondering who set the swirl. Off balance, off kilter, off walls with no filter, on comet, on Cupid, on with more bewilder. Confusion? Conclusion. I haven't been choosing. This delusion, intrusion, my life without fusion.
My poor Miss Titled coming on. are coming on to me, though we both know you are not free. Are you a gigolo, frustrated, a sex addict, or what? Why do you want to make her cry? Pain to her heart, sorrowful tears to her eyes, cheating on her, telling her cruel lies, sweet lies. Or are I weak enough to allow you to get closer to me? I am sure you would not remain for all eternity loving just me. Do not steal anxiously away during your lunch break, lying on any surface, leaning against any wall, enjoying quickies till I fall, and then you call someone to take my place. Tired of touching my skin, of seeing my face. Even though my body may longingly be itching to say, yes, I am strong enough, fool in love enough, easy entangled in your lustful sex trap. Don't push me, don't coax me, don't entice me with rewards. I am strong enough to say no, accept just.
This one's titled Nefarious Nostalgia. We have a history that has never even existed. I loved you from far away, too far for you to ever even have missed it. It's kind of complicated how unrealistically simplistic the bliss of our holistically gifted love could have kissed our lips without lipstick, had it consistently consisted of the cordially insisted upon linguistics which are more than beyond intrinsic to the discovery of the peaceful harmony in our never discovered logistics. My love for you was a prison my heart could not break free from. And despite being denied bail, I was still free to spend the rest of my life in your daintily divine jail, so I willfully declined my freedom. I'm guilty of the high treason I've committed against my own mind's Eden by inciting my most reviled demons to their cleverly contrived embezzlement of logically surmised reason. My accomplice was an autonomously accomplished heathen of an abominably conscious Cretan, constantly robbing me of my solace with false promises of something supposedly positive to believe in. I couldn't possibly perceive, conscionably conceiving the ominous possibility that you and I were never really meant to be, and all this has been nothing more than a masterfully contrived deceiving. And now begins the grieving. I've been having a hard time breathing, but nowhere near as a hard time bleeding. You see, whenever I take a trip down memory lane, I regrettably realize that I take the risk of remembering all of the heavenly bliss that was nefariously switched and malevolently changed from the passionately intimate kiss I could never seem to resist, and into the dismally miserable myths of the physically debilitating twist that still exists with explicit emphasis in the deepest abysses of my preeminent pain. It's quite evident that I wanted to see if the sky was still willing to rain and wash away all the strain-filled cries from the stench-filled stains out of my nostalgically compromised and traumatically reminiscent brain. I think not. It's kind of like the impudently insolent ink spot of an insistently inquisitive ink blot that persistently tries to trick my mind into a primitively tied slip knot as I try to tiptoe to the tip top in my G.I. Joe flip-flops. But I figured even if not, I'll just make a quick stop to the neighborhood gift shop and pick up a Ziploc full of some of that good old hip-hop. And then I'm right back there, back to back then. Back to when the blast from the past was nothing more than a glorified has-been. Back to when having a dear friend and making sincere amends meant significantly more than just being a mere trend. Back to when hop, skip, and jump were all right around the corner, and I'll see you in a minute was just right around the bend. Back when my introverted pen had no literary friends to depend on, or even relatives to pretend to descend from. It begs me to ask, where does it all end?
My mind unwinding, finding clues I left behind me. Designed for my uprising, I choose the breath inside me. Lined by undying views of a muse who sat beside me. Knowledge I held tight to. Language I spelled right through. Image I excelled my sight true. Through pieces of my past life into speeches that I cast live, a few breaches in my glass eye review teachers as I pass by. I grew true glitches stitched in space-time to expand my mind in lieu of bass vibes. Sincerely. Who knew the hinges had been swinging freely, briefly allowing wishes to seep deep into reality? Clearly astounding, these glimpses creep around me. It's beginning to allow me to see how we fit existing in the now beat. I sit emitting a resounding bright light that surrounds me, insisting I might take flight. Proudly, loudly I sound off, tossed a few words into the sky while I fly around lost. Spew 2/3 of my mind at no cost to you or whoever happens to cross paths with a version of me rapping about these diversionary tactics. Certain words to make 'em backflip. I classically spit magic. Burden birds who passively flew past it. I sarcastically chew plastic. Surge into Earth's passage. Managed to do damage artistically, rhythmically laughing about all the past lives I was trapped in. The one known as no one knows what happened. I fashioned a glowing orb from a flowing storm so I had something to pass him for hunting crass hymns. Transmitting Gnostic visions by twisting optic ribbons. I remember being born on more than one occasion. A defender who was sworn to warn all of the neighbors. I render my physical form based on all the greatest. Am I the bravest? Or a sadist, flipping through all life's pages? I found out we're all made with the same sound vibration. I blame ground displacement for lame unbound migrations. Salutations, my friends, with all my love and appreciation.
I am your unconventional swinger. No, not the type that changes horizontal dance partners on a semi-frequent basis with my significant other. No, not the type that is a licensed professional going around testing swings for playground safety. And no, not the type that swings a heavy chain over my head to assert my social distancing preferences in the style of Bruiser Brody. I got such a unique condition that doctors throughout my life had no idea how to go about diagnosing and supporting me. I have living, breathing chesticles. Yes, chesticles. And they have a mind of their own. I have fun sacks of fat dangling like lumpy Christmas ornaments year round on my tree like chest, defying science and logic with their sudden movements and growth. No, I cannot control my tits. My top guts are crazed top guns that occasionally like to dance rhythmically to specific sound patterns. Please, don't play Funky Town near me. I couldn't fall asleep for 2 days straight the last time. My chest was a dance floor, and my boobies couldn't stop bobbing around. That's probably their favorite song. Also, don't play any Michael Bolton near me. Please. Michael Bolton is a call to the wild for these untamed tits. My testicular pair can't help but grow and spin to the sound of Michael Bolton's voice, propelling me to new sensations of fear and pain. I have ascended to hell on occasion by the scientific anomaly of my anatomy, levitating me a good 3 inches from the ground as my top guts are working overtime, keeping me afloat. People have asked me whether I should get them removed, but these mounds of flesh have been serious money makers, turning me into a street performance sensation, touring all around New England as a walking tourist attraction and ranking in the top 1 percentile of all OnlyFans content creators. I guess you could say these genetic freaks of Twin Peaks I possess are both a curse and a blessing. Consider this your first and final warning. Poem. Doomy, doomy, doom, where are you? We have someone to doom now. Doomy, doomy, doom, where are you? We have so much to doom now. So much doom! There is no room to unpack any more doom in the storage room, I assume. Gloomy clown gown costumed baby boomers, survivors of doomed mushroom cloud bloom future, waiting for the big kaboom to finally go boom and consume all during a slum dog day afternoon, observing annihilation turning Earth into its playroom. The generational anxiety beckons for the bomb. They are tired of waiting for their fears to become reality. So their actions confess to speeding up the process, I guess, but I digress. Shh. The doomsday clock ticking closer to midnight. Tick tock, tick tock, boom doom, until the last heart beats. Boom doom, boom doom, boom doom, doom doom, doom doom, doom, boom. Poem.
All right, so yeah, up next we were gonna have KataLyst, my lovely wife. But she actually wanted to donate her open mic slot to Jennifer because it's your first time here and we just want more. So if you could take my wife's spot and end out the show with a beautiful piece. And it's not doesn't have to be a slam piece under 3 minutes. It's open mic, you got 5 minutes. And if you go a little over, I'm sure we want more.
I can go a bit longer.
This is your time. This is the end of the show. Have fun with it. We won't time
Okay,
this
then.
one here.
All
Yeah.
right.
Welcome to the family. Please bless
Look,
us with some
something.
words.
My poem is titled Love Mask. And thanks to your beautiful wife for giving me the slot. You speak of love, of loving me wholeheartedly. You smile at me. I believe I see love's longing in your eyes. I feel your touch, hot fingers burning with desire, setting my body on fire, willingly giving your body to me, seeking my reciprocation as you cover my senses with your overwhelmingly sweet, electrifying love potion. It seemed I longed for you eternally. Was it all a love mask you were wearing? I sensed it in your today's morning kiss, so different from yesteryear. I heard it in the way you called my name. I saw it in the way you looked at me as you turned your head away, cutting your eye, not revealing why your love is waning, though my love is waxing still, full of yearning. What's behind your love mask? You are two-timing me. Now I wish my love for you was not so strong enough to make me so weak enough to be so deeply hurt inside that I feel the gut-wrenching pain, sensing, now knowing my love for you is all in vain. This hurt will hurt, leaving me in mental agony for months to come after you've gone to the other one. Still, you won't reveal to me why, what's behind your mask. Why yesterday make love to me so passionately, then today burst my romantic bubble, leaving my heart in a confused rubble? Was that your selfish parting gift? Flying me sky high in sweet ecstasy, unexpectedly dropping me like a bomb, exploding into oblivion. What's really behind your love mask? What really is the personality you have so cunningly, so successfully been fooling me, made a complete fool of me, hidden behind your secret love mask? And I can't even take you to task as in your secret world you bask. What is really behind your love mask?